Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and welcome to another episode in James DIY Garage. I'm James and this is my Maserati Ghibli SQ4. Last night while driving, I got the warning that my brakes needed to be replaced. So today, I'm going to be replacing the pads and the rotors on the front and the pads in the back. In my last video, if you haven't watched it, there's a link up above. I mentioned that when I bought the car 3 years ago, it had 53,000 miles on it. Now it's got 80,900 miles on it. And that means I've put 27,900 miles on this car, and I still have not changed the brakes at all. So that's what I'm going to do today. Oh, and one more thing before we get started. I need to mention this. Thanks to all of you who have supported my channel and subscribed, we have now exceeded 1,000 subscribers. That means 1,000 new James DIY family members. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Those of you who haven't subscribed, if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And please hit that like button and please comment. I like reading the comments and I answer as many of them as I can. To save time, I'm only going to do this side on camera. I'm not going to do all 4 sides on camera. So the reason I chose this side is because this side has a sensor on it. So I can show you guys how to disconnect the sensor. First thing we need to do, there's 2 bolts here that holds the brake line bracket to the controller here. So we're going to remove that. That is a 10 millimeter. Now the brake line is loose. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start working on taking the brake pads out. Turn it this way so it's easy to get to. We're going to take this bolt off back here, or the nut off back here. That is the 13 millimeter. We're going to take this off. This can be tight. So I brought a breaker bar. Is to tap these things out here. So we're going to use this and a hammer. Tap each one out. I'm going to use the flat side here. Caliper. Hold the clip down in order to pull on it better. Get a better grip on it. It can be a pain to get out sometimes, I guess. There we go. It's coming now. Just have to hold the clip down. There we go. And here's the clip. The clip falls right away once you pull the top bolt out. And we put this aside because we have a new clip. And we have new pins. So, using one of the pins, you can slip it in here and use it to tap out like that. And that's what that looks like. So we're going to stick this here. You can tell I don't like wearing gloves. That's why I always end up cutting myself. Okay, this is the sensor wire here. So what we're going to do is we're going to unplug it right here. It's got a tie around it so it can't come off. So we're going to cut that tie and put it back on. We will re-add the tie. Flip. Tie. I've got plenty of ties. It just ties it to this thing here. Mount. You pull the clip up. Pull this out. You flip up here and unplug it, just like that. Now we take this other pin out. There you go. And the pin comes out easily. But let's see how easy the pads come out. Super easy. I want to bring it partially out because I want to use the pads in here to compress the rotors, to press the rotors and the pistons back in, so that we have room to put the new pads. So, but before we do that, we need to check the reservoir to make sure that there's enough room in the reservoir. Because when we compress it, it's going to force fluid back into the system. Okay, this is an important part of the job when you're doing the brakes, is to make sure that your reservoir doesn't overflow. You don't put pressure in the reservoir. And flashlight on. See down in there. But, here you can see the level of the reservoir. So we may have to take some out later. We're just going to watch the level of this reservoir after we finish compressing this caliper and see how high it went. So we have a little bit of room to play with as far as the brake fluid level. So we're going to go ahead and use this and this. And we're going to pry these apart. We're going to use the hammer to get to create a gap first. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pry like this. And what this does, because we still have the brake pads in there, is it compresses them evenly because you've got 3 pistons on each side. 1, 2, 3. If you pull the brake pads out and try to compress it then, without having an even surface to push all 6 of them in, then you push on one, the other's going to pop out. Push on this one, the other's going to pop out. And they don't go together. So what you need to do is do it like this to compress all the pistons all the way back. Now, let's take a look at our reservoir to see how much fluid we have. Okay, as you can see, we got quite a bit of brake fluid back up. We're going to have to siphon some of that out. because we've got too much now. So when working with brake fluid, you want to make sure to protect the paint job on your car. Brake fluid is very corrosive and will damage the paint job on your car. So in order to siphon some of the brake fluid out, what I did is I used this thing here. Let me pull it out and show you. I used this. I covered the hole up here. I compressed it like this, covered the hole up, stuck it in there, and then let the bottle expand. I'll show that to you again. I compressed the bottle, covered the hole up, stuck it in there, and then let the bottle expand, and it sucks some up, and it just sucked it up. And that's how I'm siphoning it out. It's a little idea. This is what I use to bleed my brakes with, by the way. Okay, now that I have these compressed all the way out, it's easy to pull the pads out. This is the one with the sensor. And here's the other one. There's not much left on these. Let me see that sticker, because this is what gave me the warning. Yep, right down to the sensor. I don't know if you can tell it. Right down to the sensor. That's why I was getting that warning. Alrighty then, now it's time to take the caliper off. I need my trusty dusty cord here. Not off. Now I need to undo these. Because these bolts are tight. They're torqued to 160 Newton meters, which is about 118 foot-pounds. You'll need a 10 millimeter hex bit. That's right in there. Before I do that, this is a necessity. I think when you're working on a car, you should always have your favorite cold beverage. In my case, I like Coors Light. Okay. It's going to go this way. There. That wasn't very tight. There you go. Maybe it's just a torque bar that I got. And use this bottom one first. There. That. Hold on to it. Nope. Grab this. Put it around here. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, the caliper is secured. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall. Now, let's get this off. This is the T30 Torx. Right here. I'm going to use my trusty dusty breaker bar, which is right here. This off. There. Okay, and that's what that looks like. Let me straighten this out so you can see what's going on. This is a little bit harder than it was on the other side. Oops. Not good. Yeah, it's coming up now. There we go. One old rotor. It don't look too bad. Same as the other one.
Sweetheart,
Yes, my love.
kinain mo na yung dalawang manggupits mo?
Just one.
Lima yun ah.
Yeah.
May kumain ng isa.
Cut myself.
Ilagay ko doon sa frigidaire, okay? Kinain ko na yung chicken.
Yeah, I had chicken, honey.
Ah, may chicken ka rin
Yeah, and I had mashed potato.
So kumain ka na pala.
Yeah. I was hungry.
Hindi ka pa tapos?
Nope. Just, not yet.
Dalawa pa?
My wife's asking me, honey, I'm filming.
Oh. So maganda yun, may
recording.
break, may ano yun,
Yeah,
commercial.
but do you want to be on YouTube in your robe there?
Wala, hindi naman ako nakikita, di ba?
Not
Hindi naman
yet,
360.
but if you take one more step,
Hindi
you will.
naman 360 yan. Okay, sweetheart.
To put it on. That way, I know the holes are centered when I get it on there. And I can just do this. There it goes. Okay. Pull this out. There. There is no torque on this. Just get it tight. And now for the caliper. Put the caliper back on. I'm going to clean this off camera, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I've cleaned it enough. I'm ready to put the caliper back on. So, 1, 2. Away. Stick a bolt in there. There's one threaded. Let's turn it out so we can see what we're doing. There we go. I don't just give a cuss word. I'm going to have to beep that out. I believe I've got it threaded. Hey, there we go. Woo. Now we gotta torque this bad boy. And I believe my torque wrench is already set. There. New pins, new hardware, new sensor, new pads. So, let's break these pads open. Here's the new pads. These only have one bevel. The bevel goes towards the leading edge. It's supposed to be the leading edge. So the rotor travels this way as the car moves. So these bevels are going to go on top, trailing edge. Here on this side. I happen to be right-handed. is the outside one. Shoot, not supposed to touch that brake surface. So we're going to slide these in here. And then slide right in. Just like that. Now for this other one, I have to fit sensor in there. So the sensor goes in like this, yeah. Sensor goes in like that. Snaps in there. Some grease on here. Okay. Bottom pin first. This in. Okay, that is the 13 millimeter. I know, ratchet would be better, but I don't like ratchets. And the ratchet is broken. That should be tight enough. Just like that, connect the harness up, like that. And then this new one has a groove for the little mount thing there. That slides right on like that. Right. Actually, I think this is a little long. It is a little long. Here's the length on the other one. Really short compared to this one. This one's pretty long. I don't like that. That's going to rub up against the wheel. Let's try and route this so that around something. Do this flip. Route it around this way. And then stick it on. Better. I think that'll work. I just have to keep an eye on it. And then zip tie it. I could have zip tied it that way, but I still like this way better. It's not going to move. Okay, now we get the clip. New clip, I want to put some grease on it. Make sure they're making noise. I'm going to put it down, let me see. Like that. So put a little bit of noise, or a little bit of here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. There's a new pen. There. That won't be very easy. I probably should have waited on this. It's there. There. That's in there. It's got plenty of play for the brake movement. Just clean up. And we're done with the fronts. Tomorrow, we'll do the rears. Now that we're done with the front, we're ready to start with the back. The back should be really easy because in my case, we're not going to be replacing the rotor. My rotors are still excellent condition. There's no ridge here to speak of. No ridges here, no grooves or valleys. These rotors are in excellent condition. So all I'm going to do is replace the pads in the back. But if you're going to replace the rotors, your rotors, you'll have to remember that, at least on this model, if you don't have the auxiliary parking brake here, this is a drum parking brake. In any case, you'll have to go in the front, you'll have to go inside and manually release the parking brake, pushing the brake pedal in, pull the parking brake so you can release the parking brake and get the rotor off. And to take the rotor off, you'll be removing this piece here, this screw here, once you get the caliper off. There are 2 bolts in the back of the caliper as well. Pretty much the same as in the front, except they're not hexed. They're not hexes, they're regular bolts. So, okay, all I have is this old Allen wrench, which is small enough to fit in the holes. I was already able to tap this one out a little bit. Get it from the inside and I'll tap this one out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to try a pair of pliers. That's coming. No, this is the side with the sensor too. So that's why I chose to do this side. There, got the pin out. There's that pin. And like in the front, this clip should come right out. And so should the pin. Here we go. Next pin. Alrighty. Next is the same in the front. We need to compress the pistons. Push the pistons back in. And we're going to use this method, just like I did in the back. On the front. Let's both sides, right from both sides, just like we did last time. I think they're already all the way compressed. We're going to pull the rotors, pull the pads out. There's this pad. This one has a sensor on it. Just going to stick that one over here for now. Pull this one out. And he still had some life on him. But I don't know if that was caused by me. It's probably caused by me. Yeah, it's caused by me. So, next thing to do is to unclip the this had a tie as well. So, again, don't know if you can see this. Kind of hard because it's a little dark. But there's a clip here. You pull up on the clip and it just unplugs like that. Just like that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this up a bit, but I'll do that off camera. Okay, we've got our new pads here. Let's compare. Let's say we had about half life left on these these old pads. Now I've got it all cleaned all the hardware. I'm going to grease up the one on first, the one with the sensor. Just a little grease here. Grease here. Now, these aren't rubber, so I'm going to put some grease here. Or plastic. I mean, the ones on the shims on the front pads were like a really hard plastic material. These are metal, so I'm going to do these this way. Next one. That's in there. Next pin. You have to slide the pin over the clip. And then I can't tap this one in because the mount's in the way. I work this way. yes, I was able to use these pliers to get it in more, get it in deeper. There goes this one here. Let me try this one. Yeah, this one here. Now we connect the. This is the same deal. It's got these ridges here. There's a mount back here as well, and it used a tie, zip tie. So I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna mount it to that ridge. Then I'm gonna zip tie it. Plug it in. Now when you replace your pads in the back, if you're not replacing the rotor in the back, this whole process would have taken me had I not explained it or set up camera setup and retakes and stuff. This probably would have only taken me 10 minutes to do. Maybe less. Pop these pins out, compress the pistons, pull the old ones out. Before you put this new one in, make sure you mount the sensor on this side here. There's a mount for the sensor. It's clipped. Then you slip that in. You grease them up good. Slip them in. Put the clip and the pins in. Make sure the pins that are in the back are recessed behind in there. They're not sticking out. They're recessed in their holes. And you can see the pin ends right there. You're good to go. We're done. Well, all done. Brake jobs. We have new brake pads in there. New rotors up front. New pads in the back. We're done. If you guys have any questions on what I did today, you can post your questions in the comments below, or you can email them to me at jamesdiygarage@therainmakers.net, which is in the description below, or you can shoot me a friend request on my Facebook page, which is also in the description below. So, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Again, I'd like to say thank you to all my current subscribers. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Please like this video, share it, and again, I'd like to have the comments. With that, I'm going to go take this thing for a test drive and return that torque wrench. Pedal time. See ya, bye.